Hi everyone, it's Herb from World of Walt, and happy Saturday morning. Another Saturday when the Disney parks are closed. It's been about 5 weeks now, if I count them up right. Time has gone by quickly. And today we've got another trivia show, so I am happy to share with you some fun trivia along the way. Also have an opportunity to win a prize. I appreciate your joining me here today. Philip, good morning to you. Thanks for joining the broadcast. And Jim, good morning. Good to see you here. Liz, how's it going? You have snow in Massachusetts. Wow. Spring will get here eventually, but it's not here yet. Yvonne, good morning from Pennsylvania. Nice to see you. Carrie, hello from Kentucky. Thanks for joining the live broadcast. And Jessica from New Jersey says, thanks for bringing some Disney magic on a Saturday. Very happy to do that. Appreciate your joining me. So as I've done for the past several Saturdays, I've got some fun trivia questions where you can play along. I've got a poll, which if the technology cooperates, Facebook will show you a question on your device. And, oh boy, what just happened? Hopefully this is still working. Facebook will show you a question on your device, and you can continue, or you can play along by answering the questions. I clicked on the wrong button. Hopefully the broadcast is still working. Looks like it is. Tiffany from New Jersey, Dawn from the UK. All right, hi everyone. Beryl's on the line. Hi Beryl, thanks for joining in. So as I mentioned, we'll have trivia questions. We've got an opportunity to win some prize and a prize, and I'm interested in some of what's going on in your life, so I got some questions about your Disney experiences and just what's happening for you today. So let me go forward. Oh, I just said all this. So questions, trivia, and fun. So again, thanks for joining me. Ginny, hello to you in Rochester, New York, and Bill from Pennsylvania. Thanks for being here. All right, let's go on to our first question for the day. And let me bring this up as a poll. So this is my question just about what's going on for you in your life these days. I'm wondering, have you been to the grocery store in the past week? So many of us are under stay-at-home orders, asked to only leave for essential reasons. Going and getting food is very essential. So I'm just wondering, have you been to the grocery store in the past week, and what has your experience been like? So the poll is open right now. The percentages of people saying yes or no are coming in. Debbie, good morning to you. Said misses the walkthroughs on Saturday. I miss them as well. I'm very much looking forward to getting back into the parks whenever they open so I can do my Facebook Live there and show you what's going on in the world of Disney. Becky from Boston, 3 inches of snow. That's a lot of snow. All right, so the poll question that's out there right now, have you been to the grocery store in the past week? Looks like at this moment 77% of the people are saying yes, and 24% of the people are saying no. Kim says yes, but not in the 2 weeks before. Tracy said no, husband does it for her. That's a very nice husband. Alyssa been to the store, but it was drive up. Oh, that's good. So a little less time in the physical store for you. Paul said yes, first time in a month. Has one-way markers on the floor. Yeah, my local grocery store does that as well. So now each aisle is supposed to be a one-way alley, a one-way trip, although I've kind of found that people don't always follow that. All right, so I will show the results here. It looks like the poll for today, have you been to the grocery store in the past week? 74% people say yes, and 26% of the people say no. Sharon said the store that she went to was very organized, one door in and one door out. Patty said a week and a half ago during the senior hours, not so much on the shelves. Sorry to hear that. I know some items in my grocery store are limited, especially the beloved toilet paper. Okay, so let's go on to our next question. This is going to be a question actually about Disneyland. I will publish the poll. So many of you may know that Great Moments with Mr. Lincoln, a very important attraction in Disney history, one that Disney opened at the World's Fair, but it turns out that Disney actually created 2 editions of this attraction. So a lot of people sometimes see where Disney creates 2 copies of something like Star Wars Galaxy's Edge, and they say, oh, that's a pretty new idea. But this actually goes back to the very beginning of the parks, where when they could, Disney tried to get more bang for their buck by duplicating things when they could. So the question here today is, when did Great Moments with Mr. Lincoln open in Disneyland? So there was a copy of this attraction that opened in the World's Fair, but Disney also opened this in Disneyland. Michelle says, can't see the poll, just the slide. You might want to jump out and then jump back in again. I can see that some people are answering the poll, so it does seem to be working. Sometimes the Facebook technology is a little flaky though, whether or not you see the poll may depend on the sort of device that you're using. I think the poll should show up if you're on a mobile device. If you're on a desktop, I'm not 100% sure, but I can see that a number of folks are checking out the poll. All right, so when did Great Moments with Mr. Lincoln open up in Disneyland? So for the World's Fair, of course, that was the 1964-1965 World's Fair, so it opened up in 1964 at the World's Fair. But the Disneyland edition, which was a duplicate copy, opened in 1965. I did have an opportunity to see, Brian said, it opened 7 years ago. I like that. Yes. I did have an opportunity to see Great Moments with Mr. Lincoln in Disneyland when I was there for the opening of Star Wars Galaxy's Edge last year. Okay, a lot of people are not seeing the poll, so I'm sorry about that. I can see that some folks are. Hopefully, as I continue on, that will work a little better. If you can't see it, you might want to jump out and jump back in again. Amy said, poll not showing on iPad. I think she said it's showing on her phone. Does show on her phone. Heather says, see, this is a poll today. Left and returned, it's a no-go. Okay, well, we'll fire up the next poll. We'll see if that does any better. You can always just listen along with the comments. So, did have an opportunity to see Great Moments with Mr. Lincoln at Disneyland. Actually, the story goes that Disney originally wanted to create an attraction like the Hall of Presidents, but back in the early 1960s when they were developing the attraction, the technology just wasn't there. So instead of having some sort of a tribute to the role of the president and all of the past presidents, Carol Ann says she's getting the poll. Okay, that's good. They just went with Mr. Lincoln, but then the technology improved and they were actually able to build what they really wanted to, which was the Hall of Presidents at Walt Disney World in Florida. Okay, we're gonna fire up another poll. We'll see what happens. So next question. Oh, actually not the next question. This is the opportunity to win a prize. So in the past several weeks I've been giving away a prize each Saturday, and I plan to do that again today. But today, instead of giving out a pin, I'm going to be giving out this very fun Skyliner model, which I got for the opening of the Skyliner. So I've got it right here. My grubby little hands looks like this. If you'd like to win this Skyliner model, which is a lot of fun, here's what you can do. Send an email to me. Send it to info@worldofwalt.com. And in the subject of the email, put the word Skyliner. You don't have to put anything in the body. Teresa from Maryland is on the line. Hello to you. Diana says, let's talk about pins. Mike says, it's a very cool model. Tom says it's cool as well. It is sort of fun. Very happy to be able to share it with you. This is a Skyliner model that's got Chip and Dale on the design. It's a red car, so pretty fun. Steven says, does it come with popcorn? No, it'd probably be sort of stale by the time I got to you anyway. So if you'd like the chance to win, send an email to me at info@worldofwalt.com. In the subject line, put the word Skyliner, and in the body you don't have to put anything. So please enter by Tuesday, April 21st, and I'll pick a winner. I will also make sure that you are subscribed for the free weekly World of Walt newsletter, where I do a free newsletter that sort of recap of what's happened in the past week. All right, so let's go over to our next question. We're going to try another poll. We will see what happens. All right, so next question is about It's a Small World. And I have opened up the poll. We'll see if it works. So this question is about how long it took to build It's a Small World. So you may know that It's a Small World was created for the 1964-1965 World's Fair. It was an attraction designed in large part, the stylings by Mary Blair. But the question here today is, how long did it take to build? Ooh, I made an error in the poll. The first one is supposed to be 11 months, not 111 months. That was a typo. How long did it take to build 11 months is the first answer. 18 months is the second answer. 24 months was the third answer. So nobody has guessed 111 months. That makes sense because that's a typo. It should have been 11 months. So it looks like this poll question is going to be a little bit of a blooper. Oh well, we'll try it out. Ellen said the answer is a long time. And that kind of took a long time, sort of. Jennifer is guessing 18 months. Janice said first went through Small World at the New York World's Fair back in 1965. Awesome. Molly's got 24 months. Ryan is guessing 18 months. Okay, so this one is going to be kind of a bummer because I made a typo. I'm going to show the results, but the results really don't make much sense. So it actually took 11 months, which, if you think about it, when they were developing the design, they were constructing it, they were getting it ready for operations. 11 months is light speed, especially when you look at how long it takes to build things these days. It's different these days, different technology, different world that we live in, different construction standards, but the fact that the Disney organization was able to create It's a Small World in an amazing 11 months, I think is a tribute to how quickly they were able to move back in the day. Okay, so I'm going to close this poll. Some people were able to get in there. Michelle got it right at 11 months. Meryl said family actually saw it at the World's Fair. Very cool. Beryl says that Small World is her husband's favorite attraction. That's neat. Okay, I'm going to close out this poll. We're going to go on to the next item here. Let me take a peek at what it is. Okay, this is a question. Let's take a look at the question. And let me get the poll up. We will see if it works. So this question is, have you been to Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party? This is a yes/no question, so if the poll shows up for you, you can go ahead and select the answer there so I can see what the statistics are. And you're always welcome to put some comments in the live. So I'm interested in this because this week Disney announced that the dates have been published for the 2020 edition of Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party. The earliest party starts on November 11th and it goes all the way through December 22nd. Prices range from $105 on the low side early in the season to a high of $155. Wendy's been there, says loves the snow. Cassie says has not been but would really like to go. So far I'm getting some responses back in the poll. So 45% of the people have said yes. Stephanie says you have to change your view option to see the polls. Try to expand your screen. Okay, thanks for the tip on that. So far 44% of the people are saying yes and 56% of the people are saying no. Ellen says been several different times with different family members, loves the parade and the falling snow. The Snope on Main Street, USA is a great way to end the Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party. A lot of fun. Judy went for the first time in November. It was awesome. All right, looks like pretty much about a 50-50 mix here for people who have and have not been to the Christmas party. When Disney announced the dates for this year's Christmas party in November and December of 2020, originally it looked like those tickets were on sale, and maybe they were for a few minutes, but then they came down very shortly. So I had to make an update to the article that I posted about this at worldofwalt.com that the dates are out, the prices are out, but the tickets are not on sale. All right, let's wrap up this poll, and we'll go to another one which actually ties into some news about what's been going on this week at Disney. So this is a very interesting development. Let me see if I can get this one published. Okay, when the coronavirus first hit, it was pretty much reported and assumed that all the construction projects all around Disney had shut down. But we learned this week that one construction project is active on Disney property this week. And so what is it? Is it Reflections at Disney Lakeside Lodge? Is it Remy's Ratatouille Adventure? Or is it Guardians of the Galaxy? Which of these three Disney construction projects is actually active right now, even in the world of coronavirus? So there are actually a couple other projects or projects related to Disney that are active this week. One is that Virgin Trains, which is operated by Sir Richard Branson from the UK, is still very actively working on a train link that is designed to connect up Miami and Orlando. There are admitted by the Disney company conversations with Virgin Trains to create a station on or near Disney property. There's been no announcement on whether or not that's been finalized or where it would go. And Virgin Trains has announced that they are continuing their work on constructing that link between Miami and Orlando. There was also some word out that the Flamingo Crossings, which is a development to the west of Disney near the 429 highway, has been active. Flamingo Crossings is going to be a future home for Disney College program participants, as well as have a number of I'd say franchise sort of hotels like Holiday Inn and Hampton Inn. There's construction going on there. But on Disney property, there is a construction project that is still active. So is it Reflections at Disney Lakeside Lodge? Is it Remy's Ratatouille Adventure? Or is it Guardians of the Galaxy? So far, 55% of the people are saying Reflections, 32% of the people are saying Remy, and 14% of the people are saying Guardians of the Galaxy. Chrissy, hello to you in Philadelphia. Thanks for being here. Let's see. Diana said, so many great things going on. This is true. Mike said it would be cool to travel from Miami to Orlando on a train, leave the driving to someone else. This is true. Pretty excited that that train connection is supposed to be up by, I think, 2021 or 2022. So it will be interesting to see how that goes. Stacy said, good morning, enjoying the trivia. Thank you for that. Okay, so the answer is, we'll show the results here. Reflections at Disney Lakeside Lodge. So there were reports this week that the construction company that's building that for Disney is still very active in their work, that they have changed the way the work has gone. So they're putting social distancing in place. They're giving additional protection to the workers. But this new DVC facility, which is going to be built on top of the old river country, right next door to the campgrounds, Reflections at Disney Lakeside Lodge, is still being worked on, which is good news. Sandra, hello to you in Tennessee. How's it going? And Angela, hello to you in Minnesota. Thanks for being here. All right, let's close out this one, show the results. So construction this week on Reflections at Disney Lakeside Lodge. Dory said the train's going to be up by 2022. Okay, thank you for that. I knew it was 2021 or 2022. All right, let's move over to our next question. Oh, there's the answer. So Reflections at Disney Lakeside Lodge, actually showing some of the concept art for that new DVC property, again on the site of the old river country, which has been shut down for quite a long time. So exciting to see that some construction projects get to continue. David says he remembers river country. Me too. I was there a long time ago. I actually, my little friend at the time, kicked a locker and sliced his foot open, so my experience in river country was sort of cut short, no pun intended, but I did have a chance to go and check it out, and I do remember having a good time there. All right, so this next question, interesting one, is going to be about Shanghai Disney in China. So let me get this one fired up. All right, so Shanghai Disneyland does not have a Main Street USA. Disney was trying to be very sensitive to the culture and the knowledge of Disney when they went into mainland China. So Shanghai Disneyland does not have Main Street USA, but they have something instead. They do have an entrance corridor that's like a Main Street USA, but it is not focused on turn-of-the-century United States like what we have here at Disneyland and Walt Disney World. So they did something different from Main Street USA in Shanghai. What did they do? Did they create Mickey Avenue? Did they create the Gardens of Imagination? Or did they create Adventure Isle? So, like many of my trivia questions, this one is a little bit tricky. I'll explain why. But take your best guess here. So what did Disney put in instead of Main Street USA in Shanghai Disneyland? I can see that there's some poll questions coming up. Rachel is saying that the poll is not working on the iPad this week. Sorry about that. I can see that I've got at least, I don't know, 80 or 90 folks coming in with poll responses, but I've seen quite a few people saying that some of you are not able to see it. So I'm sorry that the technology is not cooperating. I'll still read all the answers. You can still play along. For those of you who are seeing the polls, please go ahead and put your selection in. If you're not seeing, you can go ahead and put your comments or your selection in the chat. So Disneyland Shanghai does not have Main Street USA. What it does have is Mickey Avenue. So 16% of the people got that one right. 75% guessed Gardens of Imagination and 7% guessed Adventure Isle. So the tricky thing about this question is that Shanghai Disneyland actually has all three of these sections, but the one that is there instead of Main Street USA is the place called Mickey Avenue. So Mickey Avenue is the place where Disney characters have their homes set up, and it's actually a series of restaurants and shops, much like what you would see on Main Street USA, but instead of the theme being turn of the century, it's Disney characters. Disney does have these two other places. I need to show those results. They do have the Gardens of Imagination. That's where the carousel sits. That's where Dumbo sits. There's also a series of Disney and Pixar characters that are created like the Chinese Zodiac. So there is a Gardens of Imagination, but it's not there instead of Main Street USA. And in the same way, there is an Adventure Isle, but it is one of the lands, probably similar to what we would think of as Adventureland. But the Adventure Isle has the Shanghai version of Soarin', called Soarin' Over the Horizon, and it also has a live stage show featuring Tarzan. Diana said, tricky question. Yes, you are right. This was a tricky question. Tara, good morning to you. Thank you for being here. Kevin says, have I been to all the parks? I have not. I have not been to Hong Kong. I have not been to Shanghai. I did get a chance to go to Paris a long time ago, but before they had the studios there, and I have been to all the parks in the U.S. Matthew said, interesting. Thank you. Beryl says, has Shanghai Disneyland reopened yet? My understanding is no, it has not. I believe that their version of downtown Disney called Disneytown is open in a limited way, and I think the hotel is open in a limited way, but I believe the parks have not yet opened. HR said, saw Tarzan in Disney World and loved it. Okay, well, let's take a look at the next question. So, oops, forgot to put the slide up here with the answer. So the answer is Mickey Avenue. So Shanghai Disneyland, instead of Main Street USA, they have Mickey Avenue. All right. Another reminder here, if you would like to win the prize for this week, you can send an email to me. Send that email to info@worldofwalt.com, and in the subject, put the word Skyliner. Entering to win a prize this week, which is this model of the Skyliner. It's got Chip 'n Dale on the front of it. Comes in the packaging. I actually got this for the media event opening the Skyliner, which was a lot of fun. And that gives me a reminder that I need to thank all of you for joining me here today and all the time when you're here with me on Facebook Live, or you check out the articles at worldofwalt.com. It's because you support the site and join in the conversation that I sometimes get the opportunity to do some special events with Disney Media Relations and the nice folks there, get to bring you previews of what's coming. So if you'd like to win today, send an email to me, info@worldofwalt.com, and in the subject, put the word Skyliner. You don't have to put anything in the body, and please do enter by April 21st. I enjoy sharing those prizes with you. Rick says, question for you to answer later. How much time do cast members need to get back to work? That's a good question. I'm actually not sure. I do know a few cast members. Some of them I think would be able to get back to work fairly quickly. They usually get their schedules at least a week in advance. I would imagine that Disney's going to have to do that. I would also imagine that there might be some new training that's going to have to go on for new procedures. They may even consider doing a soft opening. I would definitely count on a phased opening. So once the time comes, I'm sure we'll know what those dates are. Okay. Oops, there are the results. Close that. Okay. Let's see. All right, on to the next thing. Okay, this one is about Star Wars Galaxy's Edge. Let me publish this poll, and we will see if it comes through. Mike said, sad thing that a lot of the cast members are off work, I think is what that comment was. Michelle said, next week's trivia question, how many different costumes are there for all the cast members? Wow, if you know the answer to that, I would love to know that myself. You can send an email at info@worldofwalt.com, and I may be able to include that as a future trivia question. That's a great one. I know there are hundreds and hundreds, probably thousands of different costumes for the cast members. Joan, hello to you from Illinois. Thanks for being here. All right, so the question now, what ended to make way for Galaxy's Edge? So you probably know that oftentimes when Disney builds something new, something old has got to go, often because of infrastructure and because Disney does keep track of what's popular, and they also want to make sure the parks aren't too sprawling and that they're making the best use of their land. So Disney had to take something down, take something away when they started to create Galaxy's Edge at Disney's Hollywood Studios at Walt Disney World in Florida. So what did they take down? Agnes says, always looks forward to the Saturday streams. Thank you for being here. I appreciate that. Linda's saying the stunt show. Oh, I should probably tell you what the options are for those of you who might not be seeing the polls. So was it the Osborne Lights? Was it the Festival of the Arts? Or was it Tiana's Riverboat Party? So which of those three items did Disney take down to make way for Star Wars Galaxy's Edge at Disney's Hollywood Studios in Florida? Patty in the comments is seeing the Osborne Lights. Seeing some other answers here. Jody's saying lights, camera, action. Randy's saying the stunt show. Samantha's saying Osborne Lights. So it seems like most people are getting this one right, actually. So 79% of the people in the poll got this right. So Disney had to end the Osborne family spectacle of dancing lights in order to make way for Star Wars Galaxy's Edge. There were a couple of other things they got rid of as well. A number of people also said they got rid of the lights, motor, action, stunt spectacular. They got rid of the Honey, I Shrunk the Kids play area. They got rid of the backlot tour. So a lot of those things did close to make way for Star Wars Galaxy's Edge. Osborne Lights is one of those things that became a family tradition for lots of folks. It was actually started by Jennings Osborne, who was an Arkansas businessman. He started off stringing up some lights for his, at the time, 6-year-old daughter, and it grew and it grew and it grew to a point where eventually he bought homes on either side of him because his Christmas lights were becoming a bigger and bigger display, and it was sort of creating problems with traffic and court cases. So Disney came in and purchased the Osborne lights and then moved them to Disney's Hollywood Studios. Cheryl says, misses the backlot tour. Kelly says, thanks for making the quarantine a little more fun. Happy to do it. Let's see if I can share the results there. So it looks like 83% of the people got that one right. All right, so my next question is actually going to be yes, no. So if you see the poll, you can answer there. Otherwise, you can just answer in the chat. And so here's my question. Have you seen the movie Onward? So Onward originally came out in the theaters before the coronavirus hit. But it did not get a full theatrical run, so Disney decided to do something very different in that they released the movie on Disney Plus. So usually it would not go live so quickly on a streaming service, but this time it did. So have you seen Onward? Amanda said yes and cried like a baby. It actually is a very touching movie, as so many Pixar movies are. Kelly says has not seen Onward yet, heard mixed reviews. Beth saw it, said it was great. So I personally did have a chance to see it. I had heard sort of mixed reviews myself, so I wasn't quite sure what it was going to be like. And based on the trailers, I wasn't quite sure either what it was going to be like. But I actually enjoyed it very much. Pixar has a great way of creating unique stories, which this is a unique story, mostly about two brothers and an adventure they go on. But it also is about their relationship with their father who passed away when they were very young. So it's an adventure movie, but it's also a lot of fun. So it looks like so far 37% of the people are saying yes, and 63% of the people are saying no. Lonnie said, hubby and I saw it in Chicago on IMAX. Wow, that's great. You were one of the early watchers then. Barbara said no, but it's a Disney Plus watch. Dolores said it was the last movie at the theater before we went into lockdown. So looks like about 38% of the people are saying yes and 62% of the people are saying no. So if you have Disney Plus and you've effectively paid for Onward anyway, I would definitely recommend checking it out. Might not be the best Disney Pixar movie ever, but it's a lot of fun, so I would recommend it. Tracy said daughter is going to let us see it. That's good. Marianne said saw it and loved it. All right, so Onward, about 63% said no, 37% said yes. Ron said he's seen it. It was good, but recently lost his mom. Sorry to hear that, Ron. I could see where that would make sort of a sad movie to see. Deb said, love Disney Plus and watched the Clone Wars. That is something I have not seen yet. Liz said, brother's story as opposed to a sister story like Frozen. Yes, this is true. Kathy, hello to you. Thanks for joining along. All right, I'm going to close the poll here, and let's see what we have up next. Another trivia question. So, another tricky trivia question. You know, that's how my tricky questions are. All right, so this question. How many spires are in Cinderella Castle? Is it 27? Is it 29? Or is it 34? So you know that my questions... Oh, someone said condolences to Ron. I agree with that, Velvet. Thank you very much, Ron. Please accept my condolences too. I'm sorry, I didn't say that before. So how many spires in Cinderella Castle? 27, 29, or 34? And this is a tricky question because you could give a reason why two of these answers might be correct, but because the question is specifically how many are there, that's a little tip there. How many are there? That's a tip off on the one correct answer. So far 27%, or sorry, 13% of the people are saying there are 27. 56%, the vast majority, are saying 29, and 28% are saying 34. So Corey is guessing 34, Helen saying 29, Jennifer is guessing 27, Linda's guessing 27 as well. So this is why this is a tricky question. When Disney designed Cinderella Castle at Walt Disney World, they designed all of the towers and they numbered them 1 to 29. But then what they discovered is that two of the towers actually couldn't really be seen from anywhere in the park, so they deleted those in the construction process. They didn't put them up. So towers number 13 and 17 were never erected in the castle. So even though Disney originally planned for 29 towers, there are actually 27. Kim guessed 27, Eric guessed 27, Candy guessed 29. So the majority of people, 58%, guessed 29, which is an interesting guess because there were originally plans for 29, but there were only 27 created. So, tricky question. All right, I'm going to close that poll. Liz said that's a cool fact. Thanks, Liz. I appreciate that. I think that's kind of a fun little piece of trivia. Lonnie said very interesting. Ann got it right. Good job, Ann. So real answer 27. Helen said yippee. Good job, Helen. All right, I think I have one question, a couple questions to go actually. So let's fire this one up in the poll here for those of you who are able to see it. So this question, how long was ExtraTERRORestrial Alien Encounter open at the Magic Kingdom in Walt Disney World? So first off, that's a mouthful. It's pretty hard to say extraterrestrial. But this was an attraction in the Tomorrowland section of the Magic Kingdom, eventually replaced by Stitch's Great Escape. And it was in the Magic Kingdom for a while. How long was it there? Was it 6 years? Was it 8 years? Or was it 10 years? Matthew and Charlotte said, not doing so well on the trivia today. That's okay. It's all just for the fun anyway. I hope folks are not out there Googling wildly because it's fun just to take a guess and see how you do. So Beth is saying 6 years. Mike is guessing 8. Dolores said it was scary. Gina's saying, hi, Skippy. I like Skippy. I'd love to hear also in the comments if you ever had a chance to experience ExtraTERRORestrial Alien Encounter and what you thought of it. Eric said it was a great attraction. Hopefully I'm saying your name right. Robert's guessing 8 years. Tony said 10 years, total guess. Kimberly said loved it. It was hysterical. Jennifer's guessing 8 years. So I can tell you a little bit about ExtraTERRORestrial Alien Encounter. It opened up in 1995. It replaced Mission to Mars. That's an oldie but a goodie in a circle or a theater in the round. And eventually, as I mentioned, was replaced by Stitch's Great Escape. I actually had a couple opportunities to experience ExtraTERRORestrial Alien Encounter, and it was scary. I'm normally not one who likes scary movies, scary things. It was more special effects scary. And it actually surprises me a little bit how long it did stick around because of, I would say, a little bit of a misfit in the Magic Kingdom, which you typically think of a much more family-friendly attraction. Hannah said Got to see it once. Only got to see it once when she was young. Crystal said it was scary with the alien breathing. I agree. Tom said it was fun and imaginative. Beth is guessing 10 years. Ellen said it was creepy, like the breathing of the alien on you. Yes, it was. Jeff says believes he did see it. Chris said would love to have experienced it. Only got to see Stitch. Yep, and Stitch is sort of on the way out too. All right, so it looks like actually the majority of folks got this one right. So Extraterrestrial Alien Encounter lasted a good long 8 years, longer than I would have expected. So it was there from 1995 to 2003 before Stitch's Great Escape came and replaced. So 8 years. Crystal said husband and son went on it when he was around 10. She never had a chance to do it. Deb said kids were little and scared to death had to walk out. And Deb, I think that was the experience of a lot of parents. A lot of parents probably assumed, Debbie said it made her 8-year-old son cry. Yeah, a lot of parents probably would not have expected such an intense attraction in the Magic Kingdom. But it was a very intense attraction. I experienced it as an adult. And it was creepy. So actually the majority of folks got this one right. 47% of the people said 8 years. Helen's got another yippee. Good job, Helen. David said would rather see Stitch's Great Escape. HR said first trip was 2005, so yep, you would have missed it. Haley got it right. Good job. Kathy said saw some kids going out and said not for us. Yep. That is probably a good move if you're not into creepy things. All right, so we got our last question for today. Let me get the poll up. Also, as my trivia questions are wont to be a little bit tricky, Kathy got that one right. Good job. Nancy liked it. Good for you. Velvet said liked both versions. Alyssa got her first one right. Good for you. Diane, got it right too. All right, so the next question up, last one for today. What did the Gran Fiesta Tour replace? So the Gran Fiesta Tour is an attraction at Epcot at Walt Disney World. It is in the Mexico Pavilion, and it replaced an attraction that came before it. Rivian is asking for the shameless plug. I hadn't seen anybody ask that yet in the comments section, so you get the award for prompting the shameless plug of the week. If you'd like to have a little bit of Disney fun delivered to your home every month, you can check out pinofthemonthclub.com. You can also go over to worldofwaltstore.com. There's a link over to the t-shirt shop. Don't have any new t-shirts in the works right now, but I probably should do that actually. There's no reason why I can't. I should probably get on that. So worldofwaltstore.com will take you to both spots actually, the t-shirt shop as well as the Pin of the Month Club. All right, Kathy is guessing or submitting her answer, El Rio del Tiempo. Brenda, hello to you. Allison loves the Mexico ride. So far, we got 43% of the people saying that the Gran Fiesta Tour has replaced the El Rio del Tiempo. 8% are saying that it replaced Mariachi Cobre. And 48% of the people are saying that it replaced Viva Mexico. Helen just got a poll question. Wow, the technology finally comes through and works. Good to hear that. Terry said the River of Time, such a relaxing ride. Oh, Debbie is voting yes for a new shirt. Okay, let me see what I can do there. People were asking what are the questions or the options. So the question is, what did the Gran Fiesta Tour replace? Was it El Rio del Tiempo? Was it Mariachi Cobre? Or was it Viva Mexico? David said, highly recommend the Pin of the Month Club. Look forward to getting a new pin every month. Thanks, David. I appreciate your saying that. So it looks like this is a tie pretty much between El Rio del Tiempo and Viva Mexico. So most people are not guessing Mariachi Cobre, so that's good because Mariachi Cobre is the band that plays outside the Mexico Pavilion. An interesting little trivia within the trivia here, Viva Mexico is the group that backs up Mariachi Cobre. So if Mariachi Cobre is off for the day, people are out, there is a backup band that plays outside the Mexico Pavilion. They're called Viva Mexico. You don't see them nearly as often though. So the answer to the question though, what did the Gran Fiesta Tour replace? The answer is El Rio del Tiempo. So this opened in 2007, and it was the time when Disney started to put Disney intellectual property and characters into World Showcase. This was one of the first times that happened. So the El Rio del Tiempo closed in January of 2007, and the Gran Fiesta Tour with the Three Caballeros opened in April of 2007. So, fun question for today. All right. Jody says, needs a Disney trip. Trivia answers were off today. That's okay. It's all just for the fun. Dolores said her poll started to work. Okay, so I guess, better late than never. Alyssa got number 2 right. Very good. Kathy is a big fan of the Gran Fiesta Tour. And says, thanks for bringing some Disney trivia on Saturdays. Learning a lot. Never knew before. Thank you for that. Happy to share this with you. Crystal said, saw El Rio del Tiempo, and daughter says, Viva Mexico. Haley got it right. Kathy said it makes sense because Rio is for river. Yeah, very good. Very good way to figure that out if you're a Spanish speaker. All right, so Allison says, thanks for doing this. Very happy to do so. So I appreciate you're all joining here today. A little photo from Pandora to wrap things up. Also, I wanted to give you a reminder that I am giving away this little prize, a Skyliner model with a red Skyliner gondola and Chip 'n Dale on the outside of it. If you'd like to win, you can send an email to me. Address the email to info@worldofwalt.com, and in the subject put the word Skyliner. You don't have to put anything in the body. I'll enter you to win, and please enter to win by Tuesday. I think that's the 21st. Tony says, if I lived in Golden Oak, could I visit the parks? That's a very good question. I suspect the answer is no, because the parks are shut down with just a skeleton crew there, and probably security and safety and health issues there. Donna said, thanks for a fun morning. You are welcome. Jackie says, thanks for a Disney fix. Happy to do it. Appreciate you all being here with me today. I hope that you are all staying safe. And I will do my best to continue to bring these Saturday morning live broadcasts around 10 a.m. Eastern with some trivia questions and hopefully a prize. Forgot to show the results there. So thanks for joining along with me, and I hope you have a wonderful Saturday. If you haven't done so already, you might want to turn on notifications on Facebook so that when I go live for future Facebook Lives, you'll know about it. But it's typically on Saturdays at 10. Although if there's some special event, sometimes I do go live from the parks when they're open, sometimes outside of Saturdays. Also, if you haven't done so yet, you might want to head over to YouTube and search for World of Walt and subscribe. I will repost this video both to Facebook and over to YouTube as well. Crystal says, loves the Saturday mornings. Thank you for that. I appreciate it. Kathy says, thanks for bringing a little bit of Disney fun. Happy to do that. Patty says, another fun Saturday. And Kathy says, thank you. Paula says, good to hear you. Thank you so much. I appreciate everyone being here and joining in. All right, everyone. I hope you have a wonderful weekend. And until next time, God bless.